Alright, the Z Fold6. Everyone's told you the specs already, right? And many are saying that it's almost like the Z Fold5. Really? Hold that thought. First, design. See, many have pointed out that they've made the Z Fold6 lighter, slimmer, and made the cover screen slightly wider. But did you know that despite having two screens, it now only weighs 7 grams more than the S24 Ultra? And so it's not as heavy anymore as people generally think, and obviously it's the lightest Z Fold phone ever. Next, and this is such an oversight and not many people have pointed this out, but if you see, the hinge does not protrude as much as it did on the Fold 5. And this has a major impact on how the phone rests in your hand as you use it. Two more things. The Fold 6 now has a squared off design. It feels much more symmetrical all around, and it has this really nice matte finish frame, which in my opinion always feels premium over glossy finish. I mean, if you ask me, it's overall smarter, cleaner, and more polished. And honestly, it has more to do with how you feel when you hold it rather than how you feel when you look at it. Second is durability, and I'm surprised that not many have pointed this out, but this is the first folding phone to have IP48 certification. You know, until now, the Z Fold phones have had water resistance, that is IPX8. However, if foreign objects like, a coin or a credit card was stuck in between a Fold phone, it used to be a problem. But now with the Z Fold 6, that won't be an issue. Okay, some other things. The inner display is now tougher and more durable because of the new material they've used to make the display layers. And the frame too uses enhanced armor aluminum than the last time, making it a tougher build. The glass in the front and at the back still has Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection. So overall, this is the most resilient folding phone that you can get for yourself at the moment. Next is display. And while the display itself hasn't gone a major change, but the display experience has. First, they've slimmed down the bezels, and so compared to the Fold 5, this feels slightly more immersive and just gives you the perception that it's a sleeker design. Second, the brightness now peaks up to 2600 nits, both on the cover display and the main display. Third, and you're gonna love this, but the crease on the inner display is actually significantly less. And the only way to know that is to touch the crease on both the Fold 5 and the Fold 6. Yep, definitely better. So while the display experience is marginally better and brighter, but when it comes to folding phones, it's not about how big the display is, but how well you use it. For example, it's a lot easier to use or view big Excel sheets, give feedback on a PowerPoint presentation, or make notes or do research while watching a video. Easily jump between apps with the help of a taskbar, and even use certain apps in an expanded view, making it a lot more productive. I mean, this phone is for a non-stop person, someone who wants to stay on top of things. Just stay connected and communicate freely. Fourth is performance upgrades. And yeah, we already know it's got the latest and the best Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip. It's got 12 gigs of RAM and you get a really fast internal storage, UFS 4.0. So there's no doubt that you will get top of the line performance. Experience is insanely smooth, app usage is supremely amazing. But there's one big change. The Fold 6 now has a 60% larger vapor chamber to cool the phone than it did on the Fold 5. And that gives a massive performance edge, especially in terms of battery life, because not only can it sustain higher performance for longer, but it can do so with consuming less battery. Despite the fact that it's got the same battery capacity, you will now get more battery life. And even if I just compare it with the last year Fold 5, you will see that the Antutu benchmark score is significantly better. And lastly, a bunch of new Galaxy AI features have hit the Fold 5. And again, it's not about what those features are, but how you can use them. So one of the most notable ones that everyone's talking about is sketch to image. So you could just draw a rough sketch of something in the Notes app, and Galaxy AI will give it more detail, realism, and meaning. For example, I could share a rough sketch of what I think a thumbnail should look like with my thumbnail designer, and I definitely feel better about sharing this one rather than my actual sketch. You could also just draw on real photos and Galaxy AI will make it look photorealistic. I mean, just have fun with it or find a purpose for it. They've also introduced a composer functionality which can help you write, an email contextual to a specific scenario with just a prompt that you provide. Or you could just use it to write a message or a social media post or a tweet along with a tone of your choice. There's also a portrait studio that can convert someone's face into, almost what you'd say a digital avatar that you can use as a profile picture or just paste it somewhere. And it's obviously got Circle to Search, which you can use to know more about anything you find on the internet. But more importantly, the Smart Select feature on the Fold 6 is mind-blowing. With it, you can just tap on anything on the screen and decide to download it, copy or share it, or even just add to your notes. Even AI features like Interpreter that translates foreign languages real time work in a pretty interesting manner given the folding form factor. And just to mention, it still has stuff like Chat Assist, Live Translate, Browser Assist, Note Assist, everything that the S24 Ultra came out with when it got Galaxy AI. And in fact, I've talked about all of this in a video and how I use Galaxy AI. So if you're interested, you can catch that video here in the card. I'll leave it here. Look guys, I agree that there aren't significant aesthetic or visible changes that we're generally used to when we see a new phone version launch. But clearly, many under-the-hood changes and engineering efforts have led to some significant improvements as I've highlighted in this video. The camera setup remains the same with a slightly improved ultra-wide camera. It's not Samsung's best camera system, but if you look at these pictures, these are still very impressive shots. And obviously, it does have support for S Pen, which you can use to take notes, give feedback on documents or designs, and of course, to draw. And if you're thinking about where you could put the S Pen, then Samsung does provide a case that seamlessly stores the S Pen at the back. There's a transparent case too that I have here along with the bracket to conveniently grip the phone. There's actually more that you could see on the website, and one of them also comes with a stand, which I think is super useful. And on top of all of this, you do get 7 generations of OS upgrades and 7 years of security updates on this phone. Now, honestly, sure, I would have loved an even wider display, possibly a slot for the S Pen in the phone itself, and a higher, better quality under-display camera. But I understand why Samsung might be taking this one step at a time and solving the bigger problems like it did with the Fold 6, by reducing the overall footprint of the device, making it more compact and pocketable. Anyway, now let's talk about pricing and offers and how you can get maximum value. So the phone is going to retail for 1,64,999, but you can get 8,000 off if you use an HDFC card or exchange a phone, bringing the net effective price to 1,56,999. But if you exchange a Z series phone, you can get up to 15,000 as additional exchange bonus. For example, if you trade in a Fold 5, you can get the Fold 6 for about 95,000. Also, if you plan to buy the watch or the earbuds, you should do it along with the phone because you can get 18,000 off on the Watch Ultra and up to 7,000 off on the Buds 3 Pro. Guys, look, it's a Galaxy Z Fold product, right? It's absolutely premium, it's got stellar performance, and that's what you'd expect from the OG of foldables. And so whether it's the first Fold that you're buying or if you're upgrading from the second, third, or the fourth generation, you'll absolutely be floored by just how good it is. Anyway, that's it guys about the Z Fold 6. These are my first impressions of using the phone ever since I got it, which is not too long ago. But I'll be using this more, and be sure to subscribe because I'll talk all about it when I've spent more time with it. If you guys still have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments section. And as always, if you did enjoy watching the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification icon and mark all. Really helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.